Hello. Today I'm going to show you how to work with the primary colors and mixing them two at a time to create secondary colors with a gradation scale. So I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to start here with blue, going from light to dark. So I'm going to use a lot of water. So I'm going to go light, so I just need a very little amount of blue. I'm using water, very little amount of blue. And then I'm going to add a little bit more blue at a time. And I'm going to try to go darker. And I could have perhaps started a little bit lighter. And when it dries, you'll really see the contrast. I'm going to rinse my brush out and just fan this together. Okay, now here, this is going to be the lightest and the darkest, adding a little bit of yellow at a time. So over on my palette, I'm going to mix in just a little bit of yellow. Maybe that's a little too much. So you can see this is still blue, but it has a little bit of green with it because we've added a little bit of yellow. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more yellow. And then a little bit more. You can really see it there. A little bit more. A little bit more. And then the last one has a lot of yellow. Okay. Now I'm going to take red. Very little amount of red. Just a little bit more. Just add a little bit more. So if I want to lighten it up, I use water. If I want it to be darker, I use less water. And then towards the end, the darkest is going to be straight paint, no water. Okay, now add a little bit of blue, just a little bit. A little bit more blue. Now, when I look at this, I need to see, is there a change? Do you really see a change between the two? No, so I'm going to add a little bit more blue. Now I see the change. And I'm mixing on my palette instead of mixing on the paper. You can really see that change there. And then the final one looks like just blue, but it's not. There's red in there because that's why it's more blue purple. Okay, rinse out my brush. Now we're moving on to yellow. So I want to use a very, very little amount of pigment. Kind of blend that together. A little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to take that same yellow and add just a hint of red. There, I put a little bit amount. You really can't even see, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Well, maybe a little bit more. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit more red. Mixing it up on my palette first. So what we're doing here is training your eye to see the subtleties. Okay, a little bit more. You really see that true orange. Try to stay in the lines if you can. And there we go. Okay, then at the bottom, go ahead and make up a color. I'm going to mix red and purple. And I know that purple and yellow are complementary colors. So I'm going to get a true purple. And I'm going to mix some yellow in with that, which is going to give me a brown. So I'm going to put the darkest on this side. And just using water, I'm going to draw this out. You see it's getting lighter because I'm using the water as my white. Okay. And there you have it. We have the perfect blue, red, yellow. These are the primary colors. You can make all colors with just the primary colors. And in this instance, we've taken primary colors and mixed them two at a time to create our secondary colors, which are green, purple, and orange. And at the bottom, artist's choice of whichever color you would like to create, going from dark to light or light to dark. Thank you. Oh, and don't forget to put your first name, last name, and your bell at the top of your paper.